Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sherry Cullen, and so glad you guys can join us today. I have the most beautiful woman, Isabel Bonacci, with us today. She's coming on to kind of share her testimonial of her journey doing some healing work with me and herself. And I just asked her if she'd want to come on and share her experience, and she said yes. So I've got her here with us. She is from New York. Yeah, I'll let you kind of share a little bit of yourself, and I'll maybe ask you some questions.
Well, hello, YouTube. This is my debut on YouTube. This is new for me. But I am super excited to be here because I do believe that it's super important to share your story for two reasons. One, it may inspire someone else. And two, I want the world to know what this woman can do. So, and sometimes when you write a testimonial, it just doesn't come across the way it should. So I'm trying to pick my favorite healing and my favorite, most outrageous thing you've accomplished within me.
We could talk about a couple of them. I think you have two really big ones that are.
So there's a few of them, but let me just, I guess, backtrack a little bit and share with you guys a little bit how my journey with Sherry. So my journey began a few years ago. However, it really feels like a lifetime. And if you're in the spiritual journey, you know I'm not lying. Spiritual awakening is a gigantic kick in the butt. And I was very blessed to have Sherry to walk me through it and to help me. So my relationship with Sherry started, she started being my coach. That's how we really started. And to be very honest, not only with my background in psychology, but with my background in the spiritual world, I've worked with many people before. The first time I saw Sherry, I think I saw you on a live. I don't even know which group I saw her on a live. And the first thing I noticed was, wow, she's like the real thing. There was like, she's genuine. She wasn't sugarcoating anything. She was like, this is what I see. This is how I see it. And I love that about her. I love that I found someone that will honestly tell me what's going on and what I can do. She is the least judgmental person on the planet. So nothing was too outrageous. Nothing that came out of my mouth was ever too outrageous or wrong. So our relationship started with me begging her to coach me. And her business was fairly new, right? You were still fairly new in the process.
The coaching side was new.
The coaching side. And I was like, please coach me. Please, I beg you, coach me. And she, thank the Lord, put a package together and she was like, let's do it. And I remember we started with one coaching a week and it ended up being 3 times a week. And it was life-changing. So let me just first say, as a coach, you're incredible. Not only did she coach me, but then we transitioned from coach to teaching. And what I love about Sherry is that she can really do both. Not many coaches are able to do both in such a balanced way. So we started with, I want to see dead people. I want to see dead people. I want to see dead people, to teach me everything about the Akashic, to, I was so in such need for learning. And one day she said to me, why don't I just teach you? Why do you want me to fix it? Let me just teach you. And I was petrified. And she did. She taught me. She taught me all I know. This woman's taught me. So I am incredibly grateful for her. We worked together maybe a year. And then when I graduated, for lack of a better word, she said, she created this beautiful healing group. She was open to healing everyone and she did it for free. And all I kept thinking is, I have never met anyone who's willing to do that. And then she had her students, people that she trusted, people that she had taught herself to help with the healings. So not only did she teach me, but she allowed me to put everything I had learned into practice. And that was huge. I don't know many teachers who are willing to do that. And everything from Reiki to quantum to the Akashic to DST, like everything. And I'm very happy to say that I see dead people, and partly it's because of her. So I am very, very happy because not only did she remind me what my path was here, but she also gave me permission to believe in my gifts, right? So it was never about, this is what you can do, and you never really realized you could do it. Is she pushed me, right? Our sessions were not always unicorns and rainbows. Our sessions, some of the sessions were really hard, right? I have the answer. I won't give it to you. You can tap into it, right? So she pushed me. She knew where to push me and how to push me to trust myself, to trust my guides, and to create a better relationship, a healthier relationship with myself and the universe.
Yeah, Isabel likes to think that, Source has got this HR department. So that was an ongoing joke for years. Where's the HR? I keep asking, where's the HR department? Like, no one gives me an answer up there. So learning to trust that.
For those of you who are still wondering, I'm still working on it. I'm an advocate for you. There should be an HR department. Nor here or there. So Sherry became very quickly a very important person in my life. One day, I think maybe a little less than a year in, she said, I'm done coaching you. And I was crushed. I was like, wait, what? No, I'll pay you more. Like, what do you mean? No. And she said, you don't need me anymore. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because how many people have you guys worked with who are so willing to take your money? How many people are just willing to just take your money? And she just wasn't. She wanted me. She said, you are ready to do this on your own. And you are ready to go out there and help people. And the most beautiful thing that happened there is then we created a beautiful friendship. And for that, I mean, that's just one of the biggest blessings that came out of being fired. You
can come back if you want.
But it's beautiful, right? And again, it talks about who you are as a person and how serious you take this work. So now to dive a little bit into my healing, I have been through a lot in the past 2-3 years, and she helped me not only with the physical aspect of the healing, but the emotional and the energetic aspects of the healing. So I was able to heal all 3 bodies, physical, mental, and emotional, and energetic, all 4, just in single sessions, right? It wasn't, I am someone who shifts really quickly, so I will say that. And I am also someone who truly believes that I have faith and trust in her. But most importantly, I have faith and trust in Source and the universe. So for me, the shifts came in really quickly. There's been so many. I mean, she like rebuilt me, legitimately rebuilt me, because it was from, I'll share, I had a knee injury and surgery was needed. There was no doubt the surgery. I tore everything I could tore. And
yeah, so let's just go into a little bit of that for a second. So ACL, MCL, meniscus, like she had the works in there. I didn't know. She didn't share with me.
Every L was torn. And at this point, I remember just texting her. I was like, hey, I hurt my knee. And I think that's all I said. I hurt my knee. And she goes, oh no, you didn't hurt your knee. You tore anything you can tore. I'm like, yeah, I did. And she goes, I'll heal it. And Sherry does something. She does psychic surgery. And I was petrified. And it had nothing to do with my faith and trusting her. It had everything to do with the idea that she was going to do psychic surgery. So we did 1 session, I think. This is before surgery.
Two 20-minute.
2 20-minute sessions, and I can bend the knee. I'm like, oh my God, this is fixed. I'm good. Well, she said, still rest. I think I went for a run or something, and it became a mess. So long story short, and we have pictures of this, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have pictures of x-rays before and after. Let's just say that the surgeon was stupefied. The surgeon was just completely stupefied. And this is not a 2-year surgeon. This person has been doing surgeries, and he's incredible at what he does for 30 something years. When he did the first procedure on me, it wasn't taking. And it took Sherry 2 sessions. And when I went back to the surgeon, he just had no idea. He was like, I have no idea what you did. I don't know how you did it. He called 2 other doctors in. Like, it was the most incredible thing on the planet. I have not had an issue with my knee since. And again, if you're an athlete, if you're a runner, you know that a tear could essentially end your running days. So I am extremely blessed that Sherry did her thing. And that's just like the smallest thing she's done. Like, again, we need to talk about the woo-ha. Like, we gotta talk about the
I'm game. Yeah. Because I think you have the OBGYN to back it up as well, and the back surgeon, and all these little things that have transpired.
So for those of you who don't know what a woo-ha is, and maybe an American thing, but in case you have little ears around, let's just call it the woo-ha. Or the vajayjay. Let's call it woo-ha for the sake of little ears around. So my husband and I had struggled with infertility for almost 8 years. We had 4 miscarriages, and it was a really.
I just want to. I want to show them. I just actually found those pictures on my phone. Good. So if you can see all the bruising gone from her leg. 4 months she had swollen legs and bruises everywhere. 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And after I worked on her for 2 20-minute sessions, the bruising and the swelling was gone. See her leg?
And you have the x-rays too to back it too.
Yeah. So there you've got.
It was incredible, you guys. And again, not to minimize, if you have any knee injury, you know how painful that crap is. But it's not the most impressive thing this woman's done. So going back to the woo-ha, okay? So several miscarriages, totally done with the idea of becoming a mother, and resentful and pissed off and everything that comes with trying to get pregnant. So Sherry, and let me be clear, Sherry did more than the physical healing. Sherry did a ton of Akashic healing. I feel like it's important to say this, right? Like, if you have an issue with fertility, having a session with her will heal your cyst, fibroids. She will get rid of endometriosis for sure. But there's a root to everything our physical body goes through, right? So I don't want to say here that you book a healing session and you're done. This took coaching, right? So I pair coaching with healing, right? And as a coach and healer myself, that's very important for people to understand, right? She's amazing, but you're going to need to do the work. So it's going to take more than one session, just to be very clear. So we did a ton of work on the emotional and energetic aspects of infertility. She traced it all the way back to my grandmother. And she knew things about my grandmother that I had no idea. Remember, like, I think something like, your grandmother always wanted your mom to have you. My mother had never told me that until I asked her.
Yeah, right? And so your brother who passed.
Ancestral. Yeah. Right. This was ancestral. She traced it back. I've been around the block a few times in my returns to Earth. So she traced it back, right? Several lives. So let me just be very clear on that. Before we did anything with the woo-ha, this woman cleared a ton of stuff. And not only did she clear stuff, but she then made me aware of how I was shifting both consciously and subconsciously with how I believed the kind of mother I will be, because I had a serious fear of motherhood as well, right? So she really focused on the psychological aspect, on the physical aspect, and on the energetic aspect. So we did maybe 5 or 6 sessions, just in Akashic, just clearing ancestral stuff. Then I suffered from severe pain when my period will come. And I'm sure that if you're watching this, maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you feel nauseous, when you feel that you're just going to die, and you just dread every 28 or 30 days when your period's about to come. So my first experience with her before we treated the infertility was cramps. And I had done everything. I mean, I've drank crazy stuff, medication, like everything a doctor could give me or an herbalist can give me, I took. And the first thing I've noticed is my periods became less painful. And I was totally, if she would have just done that, I would have been happy, because now I can have a period and not die, right? I love my OBGYN. If you do have an OBGYN, I recommend you find someone that you can trust and you can speak to, and that it's open at least to the idea of someone like Sherry, because it makes a huge difference. I am very blessed that my OBGYN is open to the spiritual world and what it can do for you. So Sherry just said to me one day, I will get you pregnant. I can do this. I'm like, okay. Okay. And I remember we worked directly with my OBGYN, and she healed the cysts, the fibroids, the endometriosis, all healed. There's nothing there. There was something with the blood too. I just can't remember the medical term of it, but essentially when my cycles will come, I wasn't fully cleared, right? So I wouldn't empty it out. I'm trying to find a less gross way of explaining
it. I think it's like shedding the uterine lining.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't fully shed, right? So it became so thick that it was causing all the issues. Well, she cleared it all. Years upon years of layering. I am not gonna lie, it was quite gross.
I had done a uterus transplant.
Yes, and that was also like outrageous to me. I'm laying in bed, and she was like, "I'm doing surgery," and I think I was coughing, or I got nervous. She was like, "You're going to code on my table. Stop. Ground yourself." Right? Like, it was that kind of. And to be clear, I felt no pain. I wasn't bent over in pain. I didn't see anything that was yuck. She saw everything. I was laying there. Just to be clear, because I know that if you're watching this, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to see my uterus wide open. It wasn't like that. I actually felt a lot of love, to be very honest with you. So long story short, I have never been healthier. Never been healthier. My OBGYN is amazing, and she's actually working on a file that then we will share with Sherry, so Sherry could share with you guys, because she believes as a doctor that everyone should have access to this kind of healing. So that to me was one of the biggest things, the fact that, and this wasn't just mine, this is a genetic thing. And what's interesting is that every time she heals me, I can see the ripple within the women in my family. I can honestly see the ripple, right? Because we are the women before us and the women after us. So that's always been incredible for me, that every time she heals me, she's healing my mother, my grandmother, so it's amazing. So my OBGYN not only is incredibly grateful for everything Sherry's done, but I think she's actually taking quantum at some point with Sherry. So she's definitely on board with it. I don't want to bore you guys with the medical terms, but let's just say that I've known my OBGYN for almost 10 years. I have never been this healthy. My wuha, my uterus has never been this healthy. Endometriosis is gone. The cysts are gone. The fibroids are gone. Now, I will say this. I do believe that the reason why I continue to be healthy is because I am on top of my healing. Right? I do believe that, and this is just me, Isabel, sharing with you guys what I do. I do maintenance healing with her, right? Because we know that emotion affects the physical body. And I hold emotion, whether it's mine or clients or family members, like you hold emotion. And to have someone that I can trust to say, hey, let's do maintenance, let's make sure everything's good, continues to keep me healthy. Does that make sense? Let me think another one. Okay, so another one I can share from my husband. My husband is a first responder. And for the longest time, he had issues with his neck and his jaw. So they wanted to operate. Like they wanted to just literally give him a brand new jaw. Like, this is not working. This, you're a first responder, blah, blah, blah. He was involved in 9/11. So there's a lot of risk to it. And I think that was actually one session.
It was a couple. We did Akashic work first. We went in and did some healing on why. So I've never been to where they live, and I ended up in their fire hall, described it to a T, described the men that he works with. The bell in the fire hall was actually a trigger for his jaw hurting from 9/11. So I healed that through the Akashic, and also in a past life. He was in a past life with his best friend, and the trigger was the bullet wounds, like the bullets flying and hitting them. And he got shot in the jaw or in the neck, and then his best friend had been shot in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way that I do healing in the Akashic, I do healing transformations, and I teach it as well. So I just went in, healed her husband, and then the friend was standing there, so I just asked Source directly, like, can I do some work on him? He's like, yep, go ahead. Fixed them all up. I was talking to Isabel after that, and I said, hey, like, your husband doesn't need any more surgery or anything. He's good. And I said, whoever this guy is, I described him. She goes, that's his best friend in this life. And I went, well, just let him know that his neck is okay. And I think you're the one who said, like, go to the gym and work out as hard as you can.
And not an issue. And this has been 3 years, maybe 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, almost 3 years. Yeah.
But the reason why I said one session is because I think that he was only in camera with you once. I think everything else you did without him.
Remote,
so
yeah.
That's another really cool thing. I don't know many healers where I don't have to be face to face in order to be healed. Right. So that's what makes this experience for me even better, because a lot of the times I shift quickly. So a lot of the times I knew exactly when she worked on me because I would feel it. So she will actually wait for me to go to sleep and worked on me overnight. Right. So again, the dedication behind it is one of the reasons why I'm such an advocate, and I recommend Sherry always, right? She's really doing this for the higher good. And I haven't come across many people like that. If you have, great, but I personally haven't. So yeah, so that was one of them. The other one was, we can talk about my mom, but I kind of feel like she wants to do that. But yeah, I'm trying to think. You fixed so much.
The back.
My L1, L4, and L5. Right, so that's more recent. So I was a gymnast and a swimmer in high school. Again, if you're an athlete, you know my back wasn't in the greatest of shapes, and I would get awful back spasms. So I will be in bed for 3 to 5 days where I couldn't move, and then I'll have to take steroids for the swelling. So I went to the doctor, and he was concerned about the L1, and it freaked me out a little bit. So my first phone call was Sherry. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? Fix it. And that was surgery. And what else? That was surgery. We don't have to do Akashic for that, do we?
No Akashic. Just surgery.
Pure surgery. Do you have pictures of that too, I think?
Yeah, I think so. So
long story short, I want to say it was maybe 2 or 3. I think it was surgery and 2 sessions after that. She does PT as well. It's a full package. Fully regenerated, right? So the disc is fully regenerated on the especially on the L4 and the L5. My doctor was stupefied. And I don't mean shocked, I mean stupefied. Like stupefied to the point that he wanted to like sit with her and interview her because he has no idea how she did that. What I found most beneficial about this kind of healing, though, is that it wasn't invasive, right? I didn't need to go on medication. I didn't need to be injected with anything. I didn't need to put my body through more stress in order to heal it. So that was one of the biggest things for me. And I feel great. I really do feel great. Between my knee, the wuha, the back, and guys, and this is just what's coming to mind that's most recent, right? Like I do want to talk about, actually, I don't know if we can talk about that. Can we talk about COVID? No.
Go for it.
So my husband was diagnosed with COVID, and again, I don't want to get into the believe or not believe, right? I mean, COVID as in the virus. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it's not a political thing. So he was diagnosed with it, whether it was COVID or not, it's irrelevant. He was sick. He lost sense of taste as well. And over here, when you do that, it could take months for you to get it back. And he was feeling tired. He felt essentially he had the flu, essentially. And do you actually speak to him? I don't know if you actually spoke to him.
Um,
I think it was through Messenger. I think it was through PM. I don't actually think you guys got on the camera.
yeah, we did once, but I think it was after, like midway.
Long story short, after this 2 healing sessions that I'm pretty sure she did, he wasn't there for the sessions. Within 2 days, he had his taste and smell back, and he was out of bed. 2 days.
Yeah, and every facility he went to would give him the wrong test results. I'm like, don't go to that one anymore because they're going to give you the wrong one. I said, go to this one, and he had negative.
Right. So what I'm saying is the symptoms were gone. He felt great. So we're not discussing whether it's true or not, but just simply the symptoms were gone. And again, this is just the most recent stuff. Like if I will have to look at my notes. I keep notes of everything. I think we've done over 100 healings, easily. Right. And yeah, it's been an incredible journey. So if you are looking for someone who's honest, that's going to help you understand what's going on with you, because if you don't know what's going on with you, you're not going anywhere. And someone who's going to help you build a truer and a real relationship with yourself, with source, the universe, whatever your belief system is, and you want to do this kind of work, I highly recommend her. I do. I mean, I wouldn't recommend anyone else. Just being brutally honest, right? I think that who you allow to heal you, you're giving them permission into your energy, and that's sacred, right? Often people will come to me and say, I have 12 healers. Why are you going to 12 healers? Right? And as a healer myself, she's the person I recommend, right? So if you are looking for someone to help you become a better version of yourself, right? Someone that is going to guide you through the process of transformation, I absolutely recommend it. I love her quantum classes. I love the way she teaches. It's very, I've never felt intimidating, and I never felt that it was too much. She's a very patient teacher, right? So, yeah. Do you find the pictures?
No, I have a lot on my phone. I'm looking for them, but I don't know where they are.
But yeah, no, seriously, I think that it has to be not only physical healing, but emotional and energetic. So I highly recommend her. And now that you have the online school, it's even easier and more accessible to it. When I started, we didn't have that.
No, it was just me teaching one-on-one. I still do teach one-on-one, or I teach as a group. But then we have the infinitesoulacademy.com. So if you guys want to learn how to do quantum healing, there's 3 levels of it. The beginner level is just to get you used to the energy, which is really powerful and really quick. A lot of people will say it's like Reiki, but it's really not. It's instantaneous for a lot of people. And the other levels have so much to offer: psychic surgery, different things with the chakras that a lot of people don't teach. My approach to healing and teaching is very much like, let me show you how to do it. Now you go do it, practice it right away. So you're always paired up with somebody in the classes. I have students waiting for the next one. My level 4, it's like brain surgery and how to do stem cells. And I don't know anyone who's teaching this stuff, but it's really stuff that we should learn and understand how to use. And even some of the other courses that I teach, like Akashic, I'm working on the next level of it already. So all of the stuff that I'm doing right now, it allows you to build yourself just as much as me building myself. And it takes you
Akashic is definitely a game changer. Definitely a game changer. And you pair it with quantum, and you're golden. Yeah,
there's a lot of people who will teach Akashic, but they don't teach you how to heal and transform in there. So that's what I teach. I teach you how to actually heal stuff, which a lot of people do love as soon as they step in to learn it. And then the divine full transformation. So that's an even bigger modality. That's less than half an hour you can be healed of whatever it is. So it's just a choice. But I'm definitely open to teaching anybody. If you guys want to learn, jump on the academy or go to my website. I'll post everything in the description. You guys can find all my links down there. But I'm so grateful for you coming on and sharing your story with us, Isabel. I have a special bond with Isabel, and that'll never change. She's quite the becoming of herself. She's taught me magic and, how to come into my own alchemist and, we bounce stuff off each other and we help each other. You know, she's got an amazing group that she's got with alchemists, and you know, she teaches it just a different way than somebody else would, right? Everyone's got their own style, and I think that's important. You know.
No, honestly, I'm the one who's very grateful. And I can't wait to see what else you teach me. Like, that's kind of the way I see it. What else am I going to teach? Right. So I personally, as a student, I totally geek out every time she has a new course. As someone who is in the spiritual community, and as someone who's a healer and a coach and a teacher, this is real. This is all real, right? This is all real. And if you are a coach and a healer and a teacher, that's great. But coaches, healers, and teachers need coaches, healers, and teachers, right? Yeah. Going to someone who can teach you or may know more than you doesn't mean that they're better. Simply, that's really what she's here for, right? To educate and to help and to heal. But again, is she wants to teach you how to do it, right? It's not an ego trip. Only I can do it. No, let me teach you how to do it so we can now all heal more people, right?
Yeah, a good way to explain it too is, I have this really cool ability. I can see what you don't see and what you see, and I can hear what you don't hear and what you hear. So I let you mess it up, but then I can always help you unwind it because I can see everything that you're kind of messing up. So it's kind of nice for my students because they'll come in and get like freaked out or do something wrong, and they're like, "Help me!" So I already know what you've done, right? So it's easy to see those things and how they, you know, wind themselves around.
And you know, and I think I'll also say this before we go, is that what makes her extraordinary too is that she's human, right? That I think, and yes, she's a lot of things, but for the context of this conversation, she's human, right? So there's never going to be a level of judgment there, right? It doesn't matter. Think of the most outrageous thing you can tell someone, a healer, a doctor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. This woman is not going to flinch, right? And that level of just the comfort that she brings is healing with itself, right? So I think that's one of the things that I've learned most is to understand that if we're going to do this kind of work, you need to be completely open and kind to human behavior, right? So if she's not judging you, what she'll teach you is to stop judging yourself, right? So it's a very beautiful thing. If you are watching this is not an accident. There's a reason why you're freaking watching it. But it's just the truth. I mean, you didn't stumble on this video by accident. These are signs, right? And oftentimes people say, well, I've been praying. Well, this is your freaking sign. If you've been praying for something and here I am yapping and you're listening to it, this may be it. Right? So I'm not pitching you or selling you. I am not getting paid for this, by the way. I actually begged to do this. It is solely up to you where you take your healing. You can do this by yourself. However, why do it by yourself? We're not meant to do it alone. And that was the biggest thing for me. I've always done things on my own. Right. So I say, go for it. Give it a shot. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
I agree. And maybe you've just been looking for the right teacher to teach you something. Maybe that's me. I'd be grateful to teach you.
I mean, there's nothing to lose, right? There's nothing to lose. If you're watching this and you know me, odds are I bought you a reading from her. I've sent you right? Like, I don't know anyone in my life who's either now working with her actively or took a class, right? Like it's important. So if you're already working with her and you know of her, amazing. But if you know someone who doesn't, then just do me a favor and just share. First of all, it's good freaking karma, right? But right, just share it, right? Share. Apologies. I don't know how to shut that off on my computer. That's the next thing she's going to teach me, how to be technologically acute. But if you already know who she is, just do me a solid and just share the video, right? Because by sharing this, someone out there anywhere may need to hear this, may be struggling with fertilization, may be having a messed up back, maybe they suffer, whatever the case may be. you can just take a single session. And if you, by sharing that button, make that accessible to someone else, that's just fantastic. So if you know her, awesome. Share the freaking video. If you don't know her, it's not an accident. Book a session. I guarantee you, you're not going to regret it. And I am pretty straightforward. So you'll thank me eventually.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like if you are, a Reiki master and you're like, yeah, this is kind of like not working anymore, or you need a change, step into quantum. I teach a lot of Reiki masters and they're just like, yeah, this works faster, right? And it kind of blows them away the way that I teach it, right? And as they move up the levels, it does shock them. They don't know what to think of it because they've never been shown anything like it before, right? So time for you guys to experience what it is you need from this. And then, it's not always about, I need it to heal other people. What if you just need it to heal yourself, right? Right now is about us. It's not really about, okay, what's my neighbor doing and what's this over here? Once you've mastered yourself and healed yourself, then go use it on other people to make money or to help boost your business. But, for those of you who already have businesses, this takes it to another level. Same with Akashic. I have lots of students who've learned from me and they're like, I can't imagine doing anything else. They just love all the information that they get and learn. And then they get to, do readings to make money or, step into the healing portion of it. And,
and if you're watching this and you know who she is, I mean, reach out in a PM, right? Like the best way to pay it forward is, hey, let me come on YouTube or make a video and let me tell people your story. People think that the only way to pay something forward is financial. That's not true, right? It's a simple post and a share. There are many ways we can, share with others, people like her. And the reality is that you could be doing this if this is where your path is. And you don't have, and let me be clear, there's something I do want to clarify. You do not need to be a psychic or a medium to do any of this.
No.
You do not need to be a psychic or a medium to kick quantum one or to do the Akasha. Let me just be very clear because that's like the biggest BS out there. Well, yeah. I'm not psychic, so I can't do quantum. That's not true, right? So don't let the stereotypes push you away from learning and healing yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the comments below, I'm going to post you guys a link too. So I do run a program. It's called Divine Soul Transformation. And I run it with a girlfriend of mine. And we have a promotion on until the beginning of second week in January. And there's a 5-day free healing webinar with a bonus day. So I'll put that in the link if you guys want to sign up and take it and see what it's all about. You get the 5 days of free healing. So you might as well even just jump in just to be able to do that, right? And then just experience a little bit for yourself. And then, maybe some of you will want to become practitioners or, whatever that does for you and your body, that it shows you how quick it is. So I'll put that in the comments for you guys too. You can check that out for free. But thank you so much, Miss Isabel. I'm so grateful to have you on. You're so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story and just being that light. I love you.
Fantastic. Anytime. If you guys have questions, please ask away. I'll give you the honest answer. But yeah, it's amazing. Just go for it. You're doing this for you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And we shall return. Have a great rest of your day. Sending so much love and light to you and your families. Have a great new year.